Hello everybody and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 17 Semifinals. Taking another look at Rylai's Bristleback Ribs, taking on Shadow Shaman's Swedish Shawarma, that is of course the Phoenix and Reedy teams. And last time, Reedy's team kinda like, they won 2 lanes and then got, well no, I mean they kinda like, their supports died a lot, and their cores were cores that don't do anything, and they got run over. Of course, with us, as always, is the Doctor of Dota, Randy. Wait, no. Sorry.
Hey, how's it going?
The Doctor of Dota, Space Cowboy. That's what I really
Also
should
known as Space Randy, or Randy
Yeah.
Space Cowboy.
Yeah, I don't know. That was weird. Like, I don't even know who the hell that Randy guy I was talking about is. Oh, shoutouts to my dog. I don't even know who the hell that Randy guy I was talking about is. That name just kind of popped into my head for some reason. Kind of strange, if you think about it.
Never heard of that guy before in my life.
Well, Reedy's bizarre bans from Game 1, which looked like he was banned against the White Joel Birch team. Reedy's bizarre bans from Game 1 have transformed into actually, like, well, I mean, they're just comfort bans. They're just ban the respect bans, I guess, really is what it is. Just ban what happened last game. Don't let that happen again.
I still don't know if this Rylai's Bristleback Ribs team has a Dragon Knight player, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
the other two. Ooh, Disruptor first pick. That's so weird. That's the least contested hero in all of LD12. I feel like I don't think you have to first pick it.
Weirdly enough.
Does Hollywood play it, maybe?
Hollywood plays it. When Boss has been in, he's been playing it. Page has ran it one game. So it has actually been... It's not, like, super common, but I would say it's in, like, the B line of, like, you know, things that could happen. Yeah, you probably don't need to first pick it. I think it's a fear first pick. I think they're just... running with a draft that's probably pretty easily countered. And
Jakiro.
There he is. Probably running with a draft that's pretty easily countered, and it's not really easy to counter Disruptor. It's very difficult to make him have a completely terrible game.
It's
worst comes to worst. Worst comes to worst, Static Storm plus Kinetic Field is enough to deal with like 98% of heroes on the roster, right? Like that is just an instant deploy a team fight win at some point if you can organize it. It's going to be the case pretty much all the time.
If you have Ags, otherwise they can just BKB out of it or force stuff out of it.
They can, but that's early on. They can't force that through the Kinetic Field anyway, I don't think.
No, not through the Kinetic Field.
But, yeah, that's a very long period of time. And even when it's not, like, even when the BKBs are up, still very often, I mean, those go down to 6 seconds, right? Eventually it's going to be to the point where you can still just get stomped by it. Glimpse is always good. One of the strongest skills in the game still.
Yeah, Glimpse is great.
So, even if it's not the most exciting first pick, it is pretty not scary. Like the only really... Like, the worst thing that can happen to you here is Lifestealer. That's it. And if Lifestealer comes out this early and you actually would have countered it this time, you definitely can do that.
Yeah, they didn't ban the Lifestealer. They banned the Jug and Windrunner, which is good. I think Inno is more known for his Jug than his Lifestealer.
Yeah.
But that Windrunner, maybe you could have banned Jug Lifestealer.
Yeah, the Windrunner didn't do that hot until the game was kind of out of contest. Like, the lane kind of sagged, the ganks didn't go so hot, so... And at the end of the game, Venus had a little Dorito with the number 4 on it, I believe, by the hero icon. So I think, yeah, probably would have let it through. That was a weird audio glitch. It's actually...
I'm surprised they didn't take Lion before the Disruptor. And there's Reedy's puck. Reedy owns on this puck hero.
Let's see him on this time. I sit back and close your eyes for a second here, looking at that Radiant support duo.
I don't know who's playing what, I'll be honest.
Alright, it doesn't matter who's playing what. You got Warlock, you got Jakiro. I assume it's Luke's on the Warlock, Didge on the Jakiro, right?
Probably.
So, but either way, just consider this. Are you ready?
Yep.
Fatal Bonds, Macropire.
That sounds good. If you can group them up.
Yeah, luckily you have a nice skill that helps you with doing that. And here's another skill that, well, I mean, that punishes people who group together. It doesn't really encourage them to do so. They're kind of running the risk here, I think, of like if the Shadow Shoreman's Swedish Shawarma lineup decides to run guys who can like be alone broadly, like if they like run a Lice Stealer themselves, for example, if they run people who can be kind of alone and kind of play fights in a sort of skirmishy hit and run way, they can get to a point where they have these big, massive team fight, like huge team fight ults that are just hitting one guy per team fight, and then everyone else comes in to clean up. Like the Puck, for example, right? You drop the Ravage, you drop the Golem with the Fatal Bonds, you drop the Macropyre with all that nonsense, and there's like a 0% chance that you get both the Pause 1 and this Puck and all that nonsense. Like, maybe on the super edge of it, but that's it. Just because of how Puck
Yeah.
positions in fights.
Hopefully you get multiple heroes that aren't Puck, though.
Yeah, ideally.
Let's see, you got the Tide Hunter. Barrel going back to the bread and butter here.
Dire team pick.
And you got the Life Stealer again.
Life Stealer. I mean, it's really good against Disruptor, Lion, and Puck.
Well, it's good against Disruptor and Lion. It's kind of like a, Smash Brothers no contest against Puck. You can't kill Puck, Puck can't kill you. As simple as it gets.
Yeah, but like Puck really wants to have some control with the ults, and I'm pretty sure you can just rage out of Puck's ult.
You can, but I mean,
until Axe maybe, maybe
if
even
other people are in the
maybe-
coil,
is
I
that a
don't think you
talent
care
now?
that much.
Yeah,
And of course, Puck also has a silence, and once in a while, that's gonna fuck you over.
yeah.
There's
There's
that.
not really any way to catch Puck here. You have like an ice path that's extremely easy to dodge. You have like two 5-minute cooldown ults that you don't really want to use to try and catch a Puck and fail at probably.
Yeah, because
So,
those are
like-
both also forecasted very, very plainly. Those are
Yeah.
telegraphed highlights.
All easy to dodge. Ooh, a Razor. That should be really good against the... If I don't know if that's carry or offlane, but like if that's a carry and you run it into the Tide, that Tide is going to have a very sad day. Life Stealer will have a little bit of a sad day, but Tide would have an extremely sad day if you run that carry.
Yeah, I think Razy's probably primed to win either of these lanes he's going to be honest with you. I think he's fine with either of them.
Yeah.
Light Stealer is
Still
going to
can
be...
maybe sustain the lane and go hit some creeps and be okay, but I think if you run that into Tide, Tide's going to be jungling pretty early.
I mean, the problem with the Razor and the Life Stealer is that it's very easy to create a situation where it's just too dangerous for Life Stealer to get anywhere near the wave. Like, he's not going to die, but you can just very easily get it to the point where it's like, alright, dickhead, you try to hit this wave, you lose all your damage. That's how Razor talks, by the way.
Yeah, Life Stealer's going to get phase boots and run really fast, though.
I mean, even if he
And,
does, you're still running, away from where the wave is, right? Still a
That's
win.
true. Yeah.
And like, he can turn around and run back, but it's a pretty long distance, and Razor is not exactly the slowest hero in the game, right?
Yeah, they banned Leshrac, PL, and Ursa. I wonder... Radiant needs a way to catch this Puck, I think.
PL would have actually been so awesome this game. It's a good thing they got rid of him.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. What can Radiant get to catch a Puck? Like...
Just ask Chris
on
Hansen.
mid. Windrunner could have been okay, maybe, to catch a Puck of her. Let's see. I don't know. Kunkka. There we go.
There we go.
Kunkka can catch the Puck, maybe.
Yeah, the sad thing is that Puck can also, if Puck is gone when the X happens, she's just dodges it, so.
Yeah.
Seeing that exact, okay, Ricky, that's not too bad.
Kunkka is also bad against a Razor, but I don't know. It looks like an okay Kunkka game.
I don't know. I think the Kunkka game got a lot worse with the Ricky pick. That guy just kind of eats Kunkka.
10 seconds
remaining. I don't know.
I mean,
maybe
you
want a
can-
Hurricane Pike Fire.
5 seconds
I don't know.
remaining.
You can Viper.
Oh, there's a Hurricane Pike Fire. And they don't really have a way to catch the Puck, but maybe they're Maybe they're gonna farm up and then group and then just say, we don't need to catch you, we're gonna take all your towers. I don't know.
This is kind of this is a high risk, high reward game for Viper. It's not like you pick the Viper into this and you just win by any stretch. Neither of the passes you break with your ult are really all that impressive.
I mean,
But
Puck, no one likes to lane versus Viper, but Puck is better than most, I'd say.
yeah, well,
Like, Sniper would be better than Puck, but like when you're last picking something into Puck, I mean, Viper's not the biggest counter pick in the world.
yeah, I don't think I care that much about. I think the Viper was picked thinking about the Razor rookie. I don't think they're picking much about the puck. I think the game plan here is ignore the puck, downplay it as much as possible, clean up the team, and watch them run away.
I mean, you almost always want to pick Viper as a lane dominator, though. And while I think it's still a slightly Viper favored lane, it's not like you're gonna completely dominate the puck, you know?
I don't know. I mean, you can pick Viper as a lane dominator in mid. I think that's certainly a possibility. But I think especially ever since the rework, when I see a Viper pick, the first thing I'm thinking about is about that ult, about the new and improved Viper strike. And this thing is bad juju.
All those passives.
Prepare for battle.
Yeah, what are Razor's passives? I know he's got his E. Is that his only passive?
Yeah, Razor's got his E, the Storm Surge, which isn't the most incredible passive in the world, but that does slow him down to like no speed at all. Razor at base, he's got decent move speed, but he's not gonna be losing the Storm Surge move speed. He's going to be losing all of the Storm Surge move speed, and then it's gonna start eating into his base. So like, but
yeah.
you know.
And then Ricky has
slow.
Backstab or whatever, or an Invis.
Yep, Cloak and Dagger. And that's kind of gone.
Ooh,
and
that's
so
a very dead Warlock. Ooh, 5-man Fatal Bonds.
Yeah, this is huge. Reflexy and Mitchell. Absolutely 100% dead, yep.
Let's see. His First Blood. I think 2 kills are better than First Blood. Yeah, by quite a bit, I guess.
No, the First Blood is actually worth more. No,
First Blood went
never
to
mind,
Disruptor, and Disruptor got a lot of money, but that's not really who you want to have all that money.
Probably not, no. We'll see about that, though. What was I about to say? Right. But I think the really
they get 3 bounties on the Radiant, too.
The big thing about the Viper in this game is, the matchup against Puck is going to be, whatever. The matchup against Ricky is, like, infuriating for Ricky. It's like you got to get him in the smoke screen or else nothing happens, and he's going to be getting like a 4-staff very early on. The matchup for Razor is like ungodly annoying, and the Lion and the Disruptor can slow him down, can mess with his move speed, but nothing kills him for a very long time. At least
this might be the best 4-staff game I've ever seen. It's so good. Like, it's honestly pretty good against Puck. Obviously, you get stunned if you go out of Dream Coil, but if you can force staff your way out of range of some stuff, and you're only stunned for a second, that's better than sitting in. Oh, maybe maybe Viper hard counters Puck. I don't know. I don't play mid. I assumed it would be slightly Viper favored.
Well, I mean, the big thing
is doesn't have. Well, there's no mana left on Viper though.
It's true. The big thing about Puck is that Puck hates more than anything else consistent damage, right? If you do like one big attack once in a lifetime to the Puck, then she just says I'm out. She doesn't care. She just gets to dodge. She just goes back to work, right? So nobody really plays him mid anymore. But things like the Pudge suffer really hard into the Puck. But if you can just, like, every single time, like, if you have a very spammable skill to stop constantly, if you can just keep throwing it out there over and over, like the Viper Q, then it super sucks. And of course, a lot of Puck's early game damage is going to come from Illusory Orb, and Corrosive Skin takes off a lot of the damage that can do. Started looking down here because I thought there might be a kill, but instead it's on Disruptor. Let's check out that happening. It's very sad for Mitchie D. Actually does get the Tide Hunter to get lost, but not quite in time. The Fatal Bonds ends up doing the job.
Fatal Bonds. Does he have a slow on Warlock?
Yes.
He does. It's not on cooldown though, so they got the kill without it.
Yeah.
Reedy getting a rune.
Reedy has at least he's had
Full health, too.
complete control of the water rune so far, and has thus even back out the disadvantages of that, which is a little unfortunate. It's kind of hard to deal with on Viper, but I think you need to at least try.
Did Viper or did Puck go back to base, or no? They're the same level.
No,
Just,
Puck has just got Puck
been
just got
bottling
him.
up.
Yeah. At 100% rune control, Viper has not been really contesting it at all.
I guess Viper did pull ahead a bit in the last hits while Puck went for runes, but not by much.
Reflex, this isn't going to work.
Oh no, and now he's got to walk back.
And now he's going to get tipped. And,
Pause.
the Master is here. I already
Please
asked.
stop the BM pings. Is his team pinging him too?
Gee.
No.
The best part about that is Reedy immediately unpauses, like, no thanks.
Right? He's expecting them to be like,
Command decline.
sorry, I'm lagging. And he says that instead.
Oh no, he's not expecting sorry I'm lagging. That was not the first time that Reflexy has done this.
Huh.
There's going to be a very interesting postseason summary for the Reedy team if this goes as the wise philosophers once said, tits up for them.
Yeah.
Puck doing a great job.
Reedy is not known to do many team reviews.
Oh no, I do them. I don't know if you've
okay.
noticed that.
Gotcha. I was gonna say I've won RD12 with this Reedy guy, and he said, we didn't do good enough. Maybe he'll do a team review next time.
Yeah, that's
after
true.
winning, like a 24-man RD12 season,
Like how Tricks of the Trade does not get rid of the Fatal Bonds lining. That's sad.
Yeah, you'd think it would. It gets rid of a lot of stuff.
I'll tell you another thing it doesn't get rid of is this bad boy. Here's a fun fact about Viper Strike. Nothing dispels it except for dying.
It does get rid of the first and third spell there, though.
Yeah, that's true.
It
does dodge the poison attack, and it does dodge the corrosive skin. I think you're thinking of the another toxin. But,
no, corrosive is...
it does dodge the corrosive as much as that matters on a melee I guess. But the big deal is really, he can't dodge the Viper Strike. If the Viper Strike connects, he's just in sad Clown Town.
But if he does it when the Viper Strike's in midair, he can dodge it completely.
Dodge it, yeah. He can destroy it. Problem is, if it doesn't get destroyed, he has to save it for that. Because if it doesn't get destroyed, and then he tries to do Tricks of the Trade, it does literally 0 damage. Because so much of it's going to come from Cloak and Dagger.
So the Viper almost needs to wait till the Rookie is stunned, but the only stuns... So Ricky's probably going to do that to dodge Ice Path, and then Viper's just going to ult him afterwards.
Yep. Yeah, they're not really short on stuns precisely. My
oh no.
My Disruptor?
Oh no.
It's okay, he's probably gonna live.
Oh, Big Boy died.
Eraser sadly passed away at bot. He's so
He's
low.
dead.
Oh my god, no miss. Oh no. That's a 30% chance that just randomly didn't happen and he lived.
Was he standing in the... Oh, he's dead too. He died for it.
Yeah, he
Still
was
a really good trade to get the Rookie, and at the same time the Razor, I believe.
He also wasted a bunch of Puck's time. Came here to get rid of the Warlock. It was a decently sized kill, I guess.
Yeah.
Actually, if nothing more is going to happen here, then it wasn't a good trade. It was just good for the Puck. But it's going to lead into Viper. Viper is going to at least try to bait out the dodge to go for the strike, and probably going to kill. Reedy is riding the lightning so hard here. Venus just goes full no-brain. Yeah, he's realized the realized the potential issue and is now going home. I thought Tidehunter didn't get his ult at 6 or 7.
Yeah, and for a long time, Puck was able to use his E to get rid of some of the little auto attacks, but now he has to save it until he gets ulted, and he can't dodge any of the little stuff anymore.
Yeah. So like I said at the top of it, it's like, this is such a scary Viper Strike game, both in the terms of disabling passives and in terms of just like being a bunch of squishy heroes who really need to not eat the full like brunt of the damage.
Viper's got 2 big items in his backpack. Oh, there he put one. Ooh, Ravage.
Big boy.
Are
Tidehunter
they
comes
both
bot.
dead? Oh, they're both dead for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tidehunter comes bot to drop the inaugural Ravage on the Razor and the Lion, and he can't improve until you make mistakes.
We'll see about that.
Oh no! No, Viper! He's so low!
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They didn't fall for it, at least. That was a great first Ravage, though.
Yeah, it was. It was a very good inaugural Ravage. That was weird. Reedy doing a good
Oh,
job.
can he ult now? He used. Oh no, too far.
Yep.
Yeah, he actually dodged one of the. Oh, it was already on cooldown. Never mind.
Doing a good job dodging the Viper stuff.
He
He was
probably.
actually.
Did he dodge the Viper ult? Because it's on cooldown. He must have.
Oh yeah, he did. I think. Well,
Nice.
maybe he didn't. He has enough. He has the amount of HP I would kind of expect him to have in that trade if he had been Viper stricken.
Ooh, this is probably a dead Puck if he uses that haste correctly.
It's true.
If
I
the
was
Puck
saying-
shows up, at least.
I was gonna
he might
say-
see it and stay away.
The Reedy has been doing a good job, in spite of everything, keeping up with this lane at the very least. Goodbye, Barrel Rider's Courier is doing the same thing again. This time with Blaze of Attack.
Yeah. Let's see. Viper's.
Oh, Hero's Courier.
Is Viper gonna go bottom with
Has
haste?
been killed.
No, Viper's.
Viper's gonna hit mid T1 with haste is what he's gonna do. Gonna
Oh,
go a
is
long
that
way to
Viper?
get done
I
too.
was hoping-
So
I
that's
want to see
kind
the
of like
Viper
Viper.
teleport bottom. That would be such a. Viper could kill all them with haste.
This
I
man
don't
is
know if he
very
has a
similar to
teleport,
Viper, but slightly different in a
Uh,
few ways. Goodbye, Lion.
Yeah.
The
But
hell
instead
with
of
me. Buyback.
oh, that's
Reedy
not
looking pretty low.
not a buyback that you like to see.
He's dead. Goodbye, Reedy.
Oh my gosh.
It's like he thought he was.
Viper shows up now.
Like he thought he was ruptured. I'm not really sure what that was all about. He just kind of stood his ground and tried to beat the Warlock in a right-click contest. Viper does
He
show up.
might have
Unfortunately
been.
late, but
He might have been annoyed at the buyback from his teammate. I'm not sure.
yeah, he might have just been sitting there going, "Oh my God, Lion."
Yeah.
That is a potential possibility. Lion's buyback did unfortunately accomplish very little here.
He
He's
doesn't
at
even
least
have
gonna get a
boots yet.
stack.
Yeah.
Dire's middle
Should
tower
help
is
out.
under
Is.
Oh
does
no, the
Razor
pine
take
cones.
these?
The pine cones have ruined everything. Venus stop.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
Oh
the
no, he
Viper
got
Strike
the.
didn't get through.
Oh, the glimpse.
Dire's middle tower is under
Yeah, it's
attack.
very
glimpse
well
to
timed
save
glimpse. Puck very dead if that didn't happen. Big Boy LaCroix very dead down at bot.
Radiant's
I'm really
Yeah.
not. I want to know what is going on with Big Boy LaCroix in his life that this is like happening to him.
His,
This should not.
he just
really
doesn't
be.
have a support there, and he didn't realize he
Ah.
didn't have a support there.
Yeah, he got impatient, unfortunately, with the static link and just got run over.
Yeah.
Feels like he
Almost lows too.
feels like you really need this bonus speed here. You can't improve till you make mistakes. Feels like you really need the bonus speed in this lane. Or at least phase boots you something. I mean, this is just kind of typical Razor issue. It feels like almost. Feels like 98%
Oh,
of the time.
Ravage! The puck dodged it though.
Yeah, dodged by the puck.
And he got a good silence off. He's just gonna walk away.
Gather
Ryan
round,
might
buddy.
die.
Oh, the
Oh
Razor.
dang! Puck saved them all, and Viper's gonna.
Great
Die?
TP. They don't
Oh
have
no!
any
Oh
protection.
no! The Ricky's there.
And Reedy.
The Macfire
Reedy's out of
kills Reedy
skills,
for
he's
sure,
dead.
right? Yeah. But
Viper
the Tide
strike.
is dead. I think the Viper's gonna die too, maybe?
Yeah,
Viper
he
should
did
die?
die.
He does. Okay. So they got 2 cores right there. That was... Oh no, the puck
Hero.
buyback. No!
Hero won the right click contest.
But the puck bought
Oh my
back.
God!
Which is... Yeah.
Ricky barely saved by just one charge of a magic stick there. Holy moly.
If the puck didn't buy back there, that would have been extremely good for the Dire.
Yeah, 2,031 gold changed hands. Even with the puck buyback, it's still probably around 14, 15 they got?
Yeah,
Probably 14,
well,
13
no,
actually.
maybe 800 or 900 for the puck buyback.
Not doing that great for low late buyback. It's pretty cheap. Say about
Yeah.
600 gold, 700 gold maybe. So 14,
Yeah, maybe
13.
you're right.
Well, like has his golem here. He also has his ward here. A little Phoenix ward. Appropriately placed by Phoenix.
That's very true. Just gonna farm some creeps.
Phoenix is
Did Warlock,
just gonna right click this tower.
never mind.
Lads, do it, you madman. Oh no. Actually going, this is
Oh, wait.
sad.
He's got defusal already.
The Viper.
He's very dead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
dominating for Ricky. Nice.
slight
And he
tactical error
lives.
here. It was a nice way of saying he did come to the kind of
Disruptor ult.
Yeah, kind of a
Ooh.
weird disruptor roll. Doesn't really
That's a
work
dead
out.
disruptor. That's a
Golly
dead line. But the Ricky's dominating, and he's killed the Viper and lived. So that's good. He's got his defusal online now.
Viper going for the Dragon Lance here first. Yeah, changes his mind. That's for the best. Definitely needs to get the Force Staff sooner than later here. Cannot afford to not have it. If he has the Force Staff there, Ricky just dies if he tries that. Like, Ricky almost died as it was, and that was the worst possible outcome, basically. Like, the worst possible scenario for Viper.
Ricky also didn't dodge the Viper ult, which maybe he could have, but he didn't need to. He got the kill and lived. Ooh.
Nice Steeler's gonna
That
make it
was
home.
close. Oh,
Okay,
puck died.
what? How did that happen? I need to know.
I do too.
Oh, just got
Ravage.
stunned and then
Yeah.
ravaged.
You can't
And then
improve
just
until you
died
make mistakes.
random hero damage and stuff. Yeah, Ravage will do that to you.
340 damage, 541 damage, yeah. Pretty easy to forget almost, but Puck, very squishy hero if you can actually get him.
Yeah. And it's possible to dodge Ravage, but he was super close, so it's pretty difficult.
It's possible to dodge Ravage, but not if you're in the ice path already like he was there,
Radiant's
unfortunately.
bottom tower
Oh,
is
gotcha.
under attack.
Yeah.
This Razor is... Oh man, the Puck, this game started looking so awesome for this Puck, but he's almost lower in net worth than the Warlock now. These spells have not been kind to him, and this Razor's just gone. I said it before, I'll say it again, this Razor guy feels like such a non-hero. Even in games where Razor wins in this season, it feels like he didn't do anything. Ricky just dodged the Viper Strike, that's the good news.
Yeah. And there's no one in Macro Power.
Yeah, the bad news is
Ricky
that
might do that.
Titan is kind of 1v1ing him, and nobody gives a hoot?
Oh.
I have never seen a team care
he's got
less.
the fatal bombs on. Oh, he's just dead. Puck's dead too. Lion's dead too.
Christ almighty.
Radiant's
Brief
middle
tab out here
Not
to make sure the
ideal.
game is working, or the recording is working. It is, don't worry, that's just weird Discord issues there. Yeah, 1,868 gold, changes hands. My Steeler doesn't get any of it, but at this point, almost who even cares? He's gonna have a 50-minute radiance.
Dire's top tower
Again,
has fallen.
choosing not to go armlet,
Yeah, I mean, again, didn't need it.
which
Had
I
a
think is good.
very easy lane. If you don't have an easy lane, you definitely need it. Like, you're not gonna keep parity, because that's what's happening here. Is that he's keeping parity with the other cores in the game, even without the armlet, which is usually very difficult on live stealer. Like, you usually don't get that luxury, but this time he got 2 games in a row where he did very much get that luxury.
Yeah, if you can stay in lane without having to buy armlet, and you can still get all your lane creeps, it's pretty great.
Barrel just gets everybody to use all their spells on him. Warlock is in an awkward place here on the back line, very likely about to die.
It's like
Force Staff.
Oh, he's got the
Ricky broken.
Was that a Warlock Force Staff?
Ricky
Warlock
broken.
already has Force Staff.
Yeah, he does. Ricky broken. Again, you can't dodge this. Ravage offsides really didn't do anything, but Ricky is dead here for this. Puck in the middle of a lot of nonsense. Stay
There's a
near.
big disruptor ult. Maybe, maybe not.
Sadly, Razor
On
is
top
so gone.
too. Oh, that is a really good macro fire.
Venus is
that's a
going
dead
back
block.
and forth. Great invest. Saves Venus's life there, and Reedy's going home.
Oh, GG.
Good luck next.
Look further.
Radiant
Good manners, good manners.
There we go.
can't improve until you make
And that's the last time I'm ever going to have to Google the little to the power of 4 symbol for the title of these videos. That's it, baby. S4 is done. 2
That's
games.
what you think, dude. Next
Yeah, that's true.
time I'm gonna be super spaces, and
Yeah,
we're gonna have to do the power 4 again.
I'll just do an S and then put 3 spaces after it.
Damn.
It did not feel like, now of course to break kayfabe here for a second, you saw these games. The Rylai's Bristleback Ribs team did good here. Especially notable play from Luke's in both games, right? NO as
Game
well.
1, this game he didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, that's true. But he did still do things. There were definitely still good
Yeah.
plays. Well, so what I'm about to say is not intended to discredit this lineup in this game. This was S4's losses more than Ribber's wins. It definitely felt like. It felt like in
I would
both
agree.
games, they had unworkable drafts that had kind of shoddy execution. It felt like the morale factor. I mean, they GG'd 16 minutes into a game too on the bracket for the loss. I mean, like the morale here was just kind of in the pits, and so
135 GPM is not exactly what you want to see. And I think there was a buyback from Puck as well as Lion, like
yeah.
in the first 10 minutes.
They were morale busted. I
And
mean,
yeah,
here's some insider information for you. I'm about to expose this poor guy to the whole world. Probably didn't want me to say this publicly. Oh well. After week 7, when it was still looking a little in question for them, when the tiebreaker scores hadn't been calculated out yet, I told Reedy actually going 0-2 there might mean that you got eliminated from the bracket, and he told me, and I quote, "Thank God." I think,
yeah. Oh
unfortunately,
no, I just look at Reedy's GPM. Oh no. Oh
that's what we like to
no.
see. I actually had to tab back in there. I tabbed out to make sure that Discord ran better, but yeah, I mean, it just felt like more than anything else, the morale was just shot from this team for a long time, and it most certainly was in this series. I mean, like, I think it even extends to the choice of the stand-in to use here. I mean, let me bring up the chart actually. I make MMR charts of everybody every season to check out the differences here. And where the hell's J-Bay? There he is, 3,305 MMR on J-Bay compared to 2,302 on Ladda Lads. So even if you look at sign up, and I think J-Bay has gone up since sign up, that's 700 MMR that they lost. It wasn't quite 1,000, but it wasn't very far. And now Dis on Ladda Lads, but again, even if you wanted to go with the jurisdiction of people who would be like around that, in the pool is very close to that. Evolution Pyro is very close to that.
I don't. I mean, you can't look at like Evolution Pyro's sign up MMR.
Yeah, I guess
He's
that's technically
Ancient One
true.
right now.
I guess that's technically true, but if you're looking at, it's like you got two options. Either you look at both sign-up MMRs and they're close, or you look at both actual current MMRs, and I believe they're still close. I think JB's gone
It's
up since
kind
the
of
start.
it's kind of unfortunate. I think you have to look up at your player's sign up MMR and the other person's current MMR.
Well, technically, you don't have
So
to do anything. And
That's true.
even if you wanted to go with
The
that, it's
Ladder
like
Lads is Archon 3. I think they could have gone up to Legend 2. So it's
Luth.
almost a full metal below.
Yeah, Luth was not present this week. You could have had him. Like there was a lot of guys that I think would
Yeah,
probably have
definitely. I
been
think
acceptable,
uh
especially considering the awkward bind you put them in by picking somebody who was very clearly not going to pick your role. I think that's probably a fair trade to do something like that.
yeah.
But
Yeah, Luth I think is well within. I think you could even get someone a little you could have had a lot of options.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
I know Phoenix is definitely like she's a lot better carry player than support, but definitely did really good support both these games.
either way, it comes back down to this. It felt like this was the morale issues team. It felt like this was the team that could have done better than this but didn't. And well, that's like no better place is it been displayed than here. I mean, I'm looking at a game where I'm looking at Big Boy LaCroix on a bad hero that's not even comfortable for him. Like this Razor guy has won like 2 out of 9 or 10 games he's been in this season, and even in those 2 games has done nothing. And Big Boy LaCroix is not even comfortable with them. He's done. Reflexy was pausing in the middle of the game. His pause got overruled. He's done. Reedy was like making random buybacks too. Just call GG. He's done. Maybe Lads
Ladder
and Michi
Lads
are
was
excited to be here.
owning, but yeah, he it's hard when your team has no gold.
The one happy man in the world here. Like when they have no gold and no desire to keep going, I think this is just a long suicide note. So with that all being said, it's time for the old post-season rundown. So this will probably be longer than the entire cumulative game. So as usual, I'll give you the honor of choosing who we talk about first on S4, not Ladder Lads.
I think trying to think who my favorite player is. It's either Reedy or Big Boy. Reedy's always last, right? So we'll go with Big Boy.
All right, Big Boy LaCroix. It was the comeback season for him that I think I anticipated last season to be. If you actually look at his record, and Barrel Rider hates this. Barrel Rider, for some reason, is a big anti-Big Boy LaCroix acolyte. But despite the rep this team had, which was kind of
Yeah,
like,
fuck
oh,
Burrow.
J Bay carries and everybody else is there. Big Boy LaCroix ended up with a better KDA than him overall, like through the season. It felt like he had a
Big
lot of
Boy
games.
owns.
Yeah, it felt like he had a lot of games where he was like at the top of the heap, and I feel like a lot of the reason. I mean, again, it's slightly unfair. It makes me feel bad because I feel like I'm going against the narrative here. Even Randy is perpetuating that narrative at this point, but I feel like a lot of the reason that this team got to be here was just
They
because
this
of
team tied for third place, right?
no, they tied for
Tied
eighth
for
place.
third or
They
no,
were
they tied for third.
no, they were eighth seed. That's why they fought Nick
No,
the
I
first
mean
round.
in the playoffs. In the playoffs, they made it to the semifinals.
Yeah, they are here.
So that's third place, right?
Yeah, I
Third
guess
slash
in
fourth.
that capacity, you could say that. I would certainly be leery of giving them anything but the fourth place, considering that the Tall Balls team like had a very hard fought series, which honestly
Yeah,
they probably win
I
if
guess
Blue
let's
Jays
call them
there.
fourth place.
There we
But
go.
fourth place out of 12
They got really
is
far
pretty damn good.
for a team. And let's just say it like this: I've heard rumors. I can't go too deep into it, but for a team that had morale issues this bad, this persistently, this long, like if you look at the actual impact, they got a long way, and a lot of that was on him. Part of it was just luck. A lot of Big Boy LaCroix's heroes are just very good this season. Like Darkseer spent like half this season being one of the best in the entire game. And he's one of the only guys in this entire league that you could trust to play him, right? Like, that's good.
Definitely. Yeah, he's
But
I mean, I think he's got like Big Boy is kind of underrated. Like a lot of offlaners have like, oh, I can play this, or this. Big Boy's got like 10 heroes that he can play really well,
yeah,
which is more than most offlaners can say.
yeah, it was kind of his issue back when he first showed up in the league around season 11, 12, is that he was a very good mechanical player, but his roster was very small. Like I remember, he was very publicly vocal, or at least to his team was very vocal about how frustrated he was that in like the final game his team played in season 12, all of his heroes were banned, and that's like not a thing you can do anymore. So,
Definitely
that's
not.
good. It does feel like a few of these choices were getting a little too cute. Like you can definitely leave the Razor off of the retinue until he gets a little better, for example. But
Yeah, I think
yeah,
if they, I think if they moved him to carry and put him into the Tide Hunter that game, Razor would have owned. But a lot of lads also wants to be. I don't know. I think yeah, Razor's probably not the best pick this game. It's good.
Razor's
It's
not the
just
best pick. It feels like I said, just feels like zero. Like I'm watching guys I know how to know how to play Razor this season, just like have zero impact and die over and over with the guy. He's just gone. It's not happening. But
I think the Centaur could have been pretty fine this game. Like
could be. I don't know if it was
Lifestealer
then.
kind of eats this Centaur, but not really.
Oh
Like
yeah, actually
I don't
no.
know.
Yeah, that's completely unplayable. And a Life Stealer and Viper, that like super sucks actually.
Oh yeah, yeah, against Viper. They didn't know about the Viper because Viper was the
Yeah, that's
last
true.
pick.
I
But
mean, even into like
that would have
the
been very sad when it came out.
the Jakiro, the Warlock can be pretty annoying. But either way, the point of the matter is, very good season for Big Boy in spite of everything. I think if he's watching somewhere out there in TV land, and I would be fucking shocked if anyone on the Reedy team is watching this, to be honest with you. But if he's watching somewhere out there in TV land, yeah, very good turnaround season. I think the train is back. Maybe captain next season. See where you can do with it. Honestly, it feels like there's been a lot of unfortunate big boy misuse. It'd be interesting to see how that works. Who's going next?
Let's see. Um, we can go to Mitchie D, and can I start by saying fuck that guy that uh just decided he's not going to play because he didn't get on his friend's team. I don't remember
I
what
don't know who you're
numbers he
talking about,
is,
but
but
yeah, yeah.
the guy that Mitchie D replaced,
Unfortunate situation. I think he played it pretty well.
2-7, I think.
We don't
He
name names if we're flaming that hard. Mitchie
oh,
D.
I do, but yeah.
Did a good job for the position he was in. I think I mean part of it is that the guy left literally week 2, so it's basically just like he missed week 1. But the guy's schedule is clearly kind of bad. Missed a lot of weeks. That boss had almost as many shots as he did. I think with this series he had one more week than boss. But the ultimate fact of the matter is that he ended up coming in doing pretty well for himself, all things considered. I think as like a stand-in. His support lineup is a little crusty. It definitely does look like we're looking at a lot of guys from yesteryear. You know, like the Dazzle, who feels like the last time I saw anybody picking Dazzle was outside of the doofy meme mid Dazzle patch was a long time ago. But you know, I think for Pause 5 you can run like pretty yesteryear heroes get away with it pretty well. Um, Hope to see him again next season as a full timer. What can I tell you? Another guy I have
Yeah,
very little positive to say. Who's next?
I think Mitchie D had a good season for the games that he played. He's not the highest MMR, and he probably plays slightly above his MMR level.
Yeah, I
Did
would
pretty
say
good.
that.
I don't
I
know. I don't know if he missed, like, if he was the permanent replacement when he was missing all the weeks that he missed, but the weeks that he was there, he did fine.
yeah. I was thinking in game 1, it did seem like this team did have a general vision advantage, and looking at the lineup of support items bought, sad news for Reflexy, who's got one less obs than Reedy, but um, yeah, he did. He
Spent
was
more
definitely a big
than the
part of that.
past 5 though.
It's true. Who's next?
Well, there's a stand in here.
That's
I
true.
guess
Let's
we go
go
to
over J-Bay.
Reflexy. Reflexy is fine,
All right, so we'll do Reflexy and then J-Bay, I guess.
or
Reflexy,
JB. I don't care.
J-Bay. Um,
Take your pick.
I'll go with J-Bay because I have something less mean to say about him.
Sounds
It's
good.
I feel like it's almost the motto of this season at this point. For when I'm talking about mids, talking about consistency. Um, and J-Bay is maybe one of the more extreme examples. Like, there were like half of this season, J-Bay was just on these heroes that nobody could have ever won a game with, and sometimes he was doing awesome with them. More than often, he wasn't, which is why they were almost knocked out to begin with, right? And why nobody expected the upset win against Nick. When J-Bay is firing on full all cylinders, when he's on a hero that is both like good in his hands and good in the game, he definitely seems like maybe the best mid in the season. But the problem is that it felt all too often like he was just letting that get out of his hands, and he was just picking stuff that like no human being could win with. Like, I don't know if it was a series against you, but I very distinctly remember one of the Reedy series where he was on Bloodseeker and he was owning everyone, and then he just lost the game anyway because it was Bloodseeker in an unpickable Bloodseeker game. Just like
Yeah,
it feels like a lot
I
of times he just is like, I'm bored. I want to play this hero today, and he runs it. And, for your own personal sanity, that's great. But I do think maybe going with a bit more like what's practical would be a very big relief to any future teammates, to say the least.
yeah, I know
And
last season, like J-Bay was pretty scary for me at least.
yeah,
Like
he picked a new hero every week last season,
you
every
have
single
to
game.
last season you had to ban Windrunner against him last season.
Well, you didn't
And
actually, because he picked a different hero every single game.
I well, you definitely wanted to because it was a very scary hero in his hands.
Yep.
I know when he played us, he picked Meepo, which he hadn't played in over. I don't know if I'm supposed to be mean, but I think he played Meepo on a Smurf. I'm guessing
Maybe.
because he then picks Meepo and just dominates with Meepo. Nobody knew he even played it. And he was just dominating on like all these different heroes, and I think he was maybe a bit sandbagged last season. And I don't know if maybe it's because people are generally higher MMR this season, or maybe he doesn't play as much as he used to. It seems like he's more at his level that he at his actual MMR now, and not
Maybe.
playing way above it like it seemed last season. I don't know. He
Yeah.
still definitely pops off on like
On his
offlane Nyx,
guys.
which seems like when he plays Nyx, that's pretty scary, but you can't really do that mid. Uh, I don't know.
Yeah.
He has good and bad games, I guess.
Oh, he did do that mid last season, actually, funnily enough, and he super won with it. But yeah,
Yeah,
it definitely feels like I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just salty because he completely ghosted All Star Game last season, but like, it definitely doesn't feel like J-Bay treats the league that seriously. And I mean, I get that you shouldn't treat this league that seriously. It's a silly Learn Dota 2 league. It's not TI, but it does feel sometimes like J-Bay kind of like has almost a disrespectful tone of like the league. Just kind of takes it as a big joke, and it's like, don't crap on something people value. That could be bad for you in the future.
I
Anyway,
agree.
Reflexi's up next. Speaking of crapping on things, Reflexy had a disproportionately bad season for where he was at. If you actually look at the stats, like he was unfortunately one of the most anti-value guys in the entire league. Like he was in. I guess I have the MMR chart open, so I can actually look now. He is. Yeah, indeed. He is behind only Otto, Max, Roxy, so he's a little behind Roxy. Copless. I believe he surpassed Sabo since sign up, right? He was only behind a couple of guys at signups on this season, right? He was one of the highest MMR guys in the entire league, but it's like, think about the games, outside of Roxy Roro, who's got, more pressing circumstances. Think about like how much impact Max and Copless had on this season. Think about how much impact that Otto von Bismarck had on this season. Wizard,
How much impact did that Space Cowboy guy have on this season? You know?
none. How much impact
Oh,
did
that's true.
Sabo have? Actually,
Look at the
negative.
Shepherd's Tone guy, 8-1.
There we go. That's the Shep.
I don't know if this
Luke's
game counts, but
is another one, but like it feels like you put them around all these names. It's like I can't. I feel more clean when I'm comparing him to guys like Dark Ace, who's very good for his MMR. In fairness, so maybe use a better example like Curry Spirit. He had the same level of performance as like Kyrix as Canada PMA, guys who are 1,000 MMR less than him. And unfortunately, I feel like it's a very easy and even if it's maybe a little unfair, I think it's worth pointing out anyway because I think it's the biggest takeaway from maybe this entire team, this entire season. It's the morale factor. It's getting in his own head. Reflexy, this whole season, was just tilting over really nothing, honestly. He was getting mad over a very small amount. It kind of confuses me. Like, this guy is freaking out and pausing games when people are using voice lines at, like, other people, not even him. In one game this season, and you weren't there sadly, in one game this season, he pauses the game because he got mad at somebody using a voice line and then had to unpause when he realized it was his own Pause 5, who weirdly enough never played for that team again. The, it just seems to me like Reflexy's head was never in the game. He was going through the motions and he was just growling under his breath the entire way through, right? Like, he was just always in the wrong headspace. As a pause 4, that's really devastating. Like, that's one of the worst roles where you can get into that sort of mindset in a patch like this. Because in a patch that looks like this, really any patch since like 732. But in a patch that looks like this, like pause 4s are very important to how like the function of a team is. If my pause 4 is like mentally gone, if he's just kind of running into places and dying like he is in this game, then your team is going to collapse really fast. Like, you got to get your head in the game. You got to learn to sit back, take a deep breath, and just not let it get to you. Because you let it get to you all over the place in this season, and that's why, it was a freak accident when you beat Nick instead of like a great triumph. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I think part of the reason with the it seems like there's a big MMR disparity. I think this guy is probably like a 3K MMR Rubik player, but everybody's so you're not going to get to play your 3K MMR hero, and you're going to have to play some of
you're
your less good heroes,
Yeah,
and
your
it's not going to
2K
look as
MMR line.
good.
I get that. That is a factor, but even on some of these 2K heroes, like he's not like a bad lion. He's still got plenty of experience on it. I think it's one of his more played heroes. He's got other heroes in his pool. I think it really is just a lot of times, a lot of it is that, Okay, here's a massive hot take that nobody's expecting to hear in the middle of this. The Art of War is like pretty useless in basically all like practical functional matters. Basically everything in it was either already common knowledge by the time of the book's publishing, um, completely irrelevant today. You would be shocked at how much of the Art of War is about chariot warfare, and I don't mean like things that you could apply to modern like mechanized. I mean like just about chariots or things that are outright like wrong. Like he says to never finish off an encircled enemy. So Sun Tzu would have handily lost the Battle of Stalingrad if he was the Soviet Union. The the book has a lot of bunk information in it, but the philosophical side of it was definitely a lot more on key, right? And one of the big pushing factors in it, one of the big you know one of the big sort of sticking points is about the mentality before battle, and Dota is a battle. At the end of the day, that is its core. You know, the
Yeah,
first battle you gotta win is against yourself, right? About your literal personal mental preparations, about your preparations going to game, which this team could also take a page from. There's a famous quote, so famous it's in a Civilization game. You know, a uh,
yeah,
a victorious warrior is one who wins first and then goes to war. A defeated warrior is one who goes to war first and seeks to win. That feels like where Flex was at. This entire season felt like he lost the battle with himself. It felt like he went into these battles saying he was going to get mad, saying that he was going to do nothing and he was going to lose, and that's what happened. And that's unfortunate. He could definitely do better. He did a lot better last season, and with a lot less of this mentality, it feels like.
yeah. I feel a little bit bad for him. I don't know.
I kind of don't.
I'm hoping next season he'll learn some new heroes and be on a really
learn some
PMA
Zen.
team uh that tells them fuck those guys. Who cares if they tip us? It doesn't really matter.
There we
You know,
go.
hopefully it works out. But I don't know.
Finally,
It is what it is.
I gotta wrap it up quick, so let's get to
Yep.
Reedy. Make it fast. Reedy, I'm gonna be talking more as a captain than as a pause one. Pause one, it was again a very inconsistent season, very hit or miss. It feels like your pool of pause ones that you could play at a level of deserving of your MMR is unfortunately small. Definitely needs some waxing. I mean, I guess you're in the right place to do it. I think they are. You know, you are learning with them, right? But as a captain, I don't know. It doesn't seem to be working. You know, even last season was just kind of like you got four really good players and not a team. This season, that but even worse. Like it definitely felt like you just have four individuals, five individuals, I guess, counting him. Four
I,
individuals counting him, or five individuals counting him, that didn't really match up, didn't really make up to be a solid lineup, right? Never really got along, never really had chemistry. I'd outplayed much outside of officials, right? And it's like,
yeah.
I am sympathetic to the idea of like, okay, yeah, Reflexy is like tilting and being just kind of generally toxic, which is a very overused word, I understand. Just bringing kind of a toxic mentality to the game, I'm sure was probably bringing down comms quite a lot. And as far as things went, I'm sure was probably not much fun to play with. You know, you are sitting there with J Bay and Big Boy LaCroix are both famous for not speaking. When you're also famous for not speaking, you're sitting there getting a new POS 5 every week because Greg won't update the rosters. And to some degree, I am sympathetic with the fact that you probably, at least in your eyes, had a very unfun and bad season. On the other hand, my brother in Christ, if you don't like the team, you drafted it, my friend.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think very unfortunate what happened to their pause five. Like just some dipshit that just leaves
Yeah.
randomly,
The POS
and then
5
they
I
have to
get.
find replacements all the time.
That one
But
is sympathetic. That one could have happened to everybody, but the three other guys that you were just sitting there going, ugh, every time you had to play a game with, you chose that fate. You chose that
I mean,
life.
Big Boy is one of the most PMA people that I've played with. I think and he's talkative during the lane. I mean, after the laning stage, he's not super talkative. You gotta make the play calls. But I don't think you can go wrong picking Big Boy. And J-Bay, he played with J-Bay last season. I don't know much about J-Bay, but you'd think he would. They got second place last season, so you'd
Well,
think they would have some chemistry at least.
I
And then
had
you had
a
Big Boy. That should work.
I had an
The other, I
insider.
guess, the sports. I don't know.
I had an insider on that particular team who told me that sometimes entire games could go by without them like saying anything. Let's call a spade a spade. This is the real like destiny of that team. Like pick those five guys this season, you get probably a fairly similar result to this. Just owing to the fact that it's like, I mean, I hate to say it, let's just call a spade a spade. Let's just be real here. Last season was probably generally less competitive than this one, right? Like
Yeah,
there were three other teams that could have been on that level, and one of them dissolved into a trash fire because all the players hated each other. On the on your buddy's team, your best buddy in the whole world, Cryptic's team,
Matty Boy
just
is not my best buddy.
yeah, that's true. Just burned up into cinders. So it really just is like maybe I don't know. It didn't feel like again. Well, I guess just to circle back around to it, like my brother in Christ, you picked the guys. You know, if you're not going to do more research than what you did, it may behoove you
Well,
to
he's friends with a lot of the Ohio stack, and in theory, this support was like
yeah
adjacent
them.
to that.
I'm not
So
talking
you
about the
think,
support. I'm talking about Reflexy. I'm talking about J-Bay. You know, even Big Boy
yeah, I mean,
LaCroix, who is like is probably not a guy who is actively pissing him off, but somebody Reedy probably picked to call shots and is not a guy who does that.
no, he
Like
doesn't do that.
My brother in Christ, you picked these guys. You made your bed, and I don't know if you liked
Yeah.
lying in it, but you should have accepted it. If this isn't what you wanted, maybe you should have just entered the player roster as a player. I don't know. It did not feel
I
like
think
inspiring captaining to be honest.
I think he can still be good as a captain next season. I think he wants to be a mid for sure because he's a lot better mid than a pause one.
I mean, I think he
And
wants
he
to
just,
learn P1. I don't think he knows. I think he's like, I've proven myself mid. I've won with that. Like, I mean, it's
I
not
don't
like
know.
he couldn't captain, but he definitely, there's a lot of pitfalls. He has to research the players that he's going for. He has to do better with these sort of conflict resolutions. I mean, like, Reflexy pausing and then him unpausing immediately was just like. And last time it happened, he didn't even do anything. He just sat there with his head in his hands, right? The leadership skills, they weren't inspiring. I don't know. Unfortunate season for all these
I
guys. And I really
I
got to
kind of
wrap
liked
things up.
his picks, but yeah, it's fine.
Oh no, I didn't like his picks. I thought his drafts were. I
I
usually
I don't
favor
know
the other guys.
anything about Reflexy and the 2-7 guy. He said it was like an Ohio State guy
He
that he
said
would
bye
like,
bye.
but J-Bay and Big Boy were picks that I thought were fine, but I guess it just
Picks
didn't
that
work
were
out.
fine, but not what he needed, and I think that annoyed him more
Yeah.
than anything. We got to get out of here. I'm really out of time. If you're somebody you know who wants to learn Dota 2 at a casual or more competitive level, we talked about this for 40 minutes, then go to
Longer than the game though.
ld2l.gg today to sign up. It's too late to get into this season, but in-houses are already kind of popping. Queues are happening everywhere you look. Follow the link to that Discord server. That's where all the action's at. We'll see you this Sunday with this doofus, and he won't be on the desk. He'll be playing. And we'll see you next time.